Hey, it's Patrick Wilson.
Hello, this is Jeff Goldblum.
Hi, this is Alec Baldwin, and you're listening to Marta on the Move.
I'm your host, Marta Mazzoni. Join us as we connect culturally through lifestyle, travel, and entertainment. Hey all, and welcome back to Marta on the Move. I'm your host, Marta Mazzoni. I am here to talk about toolboxes. I know, it's really random and strange and weird, but it is a recent thing that has really helped me this past year in a time of loss and just chaos in my life. And here's what I'm going to talk about. So, we all have toolboxes in our house. Toolbox is a collection of items that is there when we need it in case we have something that we need to fix. It's all in one place, it's all handy, and it probably contains at least one of the following items: a hammer, a wrench, nails, measuring tape, screwdriver, you get the picture, etc. We create these boxes for fixing things in our homes. But have you yourself ever thought to create your own personal toolbox to use as a coping mechanism? To use to help reduce anxiety, stress, or depression, or whenever that wave hits you and you just find yourself in a dark, dark place. I sure as hell did. I never put those things together. I did not, 1 plus 1 did not equal 2 for me. It wasn't until I heard someone talk about their own list of things that they held inside of their boxes. When life got hard, they fell down or out, they were at rock bottom, and these things, these personal things that were inside of their boxes, were there for them as tried and true helpful things to turn towards. I had never thought this, I never thought about this in my life until last year. But this past year, I found myself looking for information on all things healing, change, and transitions. I joined grief groups, I did classes, I read a ton. I was a voracious reader. I educated myself on growth, on loss, on the process of it all. I wanted a solution. I thought I could fix the situation that was happening inside my body, inside my mind. And there was no fixing the fact that my sister died. I couldn't fix that. But I could try and fix myself, my relationships, and anything else that came across my plate. Literally anything. Bring it my way and I will try and fix it. I really wasn't prepared for the dark days, like the lowest lows and those super, super high waves that crash all of a sudden without you knowing where they came from. I couldn't swim. I just had to hold on until it passed. And sometimes it would take minutes, sometimes hours, sometimes days. If you were like me, I didn't have a lot to cling to when this happened. All my research, all my effort of educating myself didn't prepare me and doesn't prepare me for these occurrences. They just don't. You don't think to use any of those things when those waves hit. There's something that does, though, and when I learned about it, it felt like to me like I was given like a magical key to Pan's Labyrinth or to the Upside Down. Those are terrible ideas, terrible suggestions, because both those places are kind of shitty. But like a magical key to like a different land. I know, I went there. It was a toolbox. So someone once told me that each person and every person wants to change. If there's something they want to change about themselves, people want to be happy, productive, and joyful. They just don't know how. Then they described a wall, and which I will describe to you right now. So envision a wall. You've been staring at this wall for years and you want to paint it. You've been wanting to paint it. You had the color all picked out. You put on all of your paint clothes. You worked yourself up to set aside time to paint that wall and be in the mood to paint that wall. You grab your toolbox and you open it up, and all that's in there is a hammer and nails. There's no brush, there's no rollers. What do? You give up painting on the wall. You tried. You showed up. You made the effort, and that was supposed to be enough, wasn't it? It just wasn't meant to be. So you will just sit with this unpainted wall because trying again feels like too much and it's just too hard. I have been there so many times in so many different situations in my life. I just need one excuse to abandon the trying part of anything. Oh, not going to the gym. I forgot my shoes. I forgot deodorant. I don't know, whatever it is. This has happened so many times, and I'm sure you can relate. So this is why I'm recording this today, because this was mind-blowing to me, and it helped me so much. So I hope out there somewhere it helps someone else. It's the magic of creating your very own toolbox, a place that you can go to remind you of what helps you, not what helps anyone else, what helps you, what gets you out of your funk. So now we're going to talk about how do you create your own toolbox. You start by grabbing a piece of paper and grabbing a pencil or a pen, sitting down and making a list. Write these things down. And I'm going to ask you a few questions here. So if you want to pause this, and no, I'm actually telling you to do this, by the way. If you already have a toolbox, that's cool and good for you, because honestly, I wish I would have learned about it years ago. If you were curious about this, pause this podcast. Go and grab a piece of paper or a pen and then come back. You back? Cool. Here's some questions for you. And you can pause them in between each question. What calms you down? What unruffles your feathers? What makes you feel grounded and less restless? What things soothe your soul? What makes you feel less alone? What feels like a warm blanket and a balm to your heart? And last but not least, what do you need right now? These are your questions. Start writing a list, pause the podcast, take your time, and it might take you a few tries, and you may end up removing some items or starting again or throwing the whole piece of paper away and starting it, whatever, scratching out. That's fine. That's going to happen. here I will offer up some of my own tools from my own toolbox that I have. And in the hopes of offering some inspiration, if you get stuck. So here's some of mine. Meditation. We all know, Marta, you love meditation. A warm bath. The smells of lavender and bergamot. Playing with a pet or an animal. Hanging out with a child. Herbal tea. A walk around the block. Tai Chi, Qigong, yoga, or anything that involves breath and movement. A nourishing soup or cooking something nourishing. A warm shower. A massage. Positive affirmations. Affirmations we'll talk about in a moment. A big hug. A big cry. A phone call to a close friend. Journaling. Music. A nap. Water. And therapy, of course, always therapy. These are a few of my things that are in my specific toolbox. My things might not look like your things, and that's cool. I am sure we'll have some overlaps. If naps aren't and water and like nourishing food aren't on everybody's, I don't know who you are. But when I'm feeling anxious, when I'm feeling restless or irritable, what I do is I stop and I first think about why I am feeling that way. And I ask myself a basic question. What do I need right now? What do I need right now? Do I need sleep? Do I need to eat? Do I need water? And honestly, these are things that these are basic, simple things that we all know, but we don't think of. Like when a kid is upset, and I can thank my therapist for this because she just opened my eyes to it. When a kid is upset, you ask them, you just automatically assume it's like one of, 4 things that they need. And we're just like children, pretty much. I mean, I can speak for myself. I am a large child. So ask yourself, what do you need right now? Most of the times, personally, when a wave hits like this, I can't recall, or I don't have the energy or the willpower to help myself. I forget what fills me up. I just know that I'm down, and I don't have that momentum to think up what will make me feel better in that moment. I just don't, you're just, when you're in it, and you just can't see a way out. This is the magic of your toolbox. It's a tool to help you when you need it. So what do you do with these? What do you do with this list? It's like the next thing, right? Like, where do you keep your toolbox? What do you do with your list? Here is what I suggest. I highly suggest making copies of this list. Laminate the damn thing if you have to, and carry it in your purse, carry it in your wallet, make a copy on your phone for easy access. When you find yourself in a situation that is making you uncomfortable or distressed or down, pull out this list and complete 1 or 2 of the things on your list, and then see how you feel afterwards. It seems so simple. I started doing this, and I can tell you that I noticed a change shortly afterwards in the time it took me to feel like myself again. The turnover was quicker to feel better. I had what I needed right in front of me, and it worked for me because they were my tools. They were tailored to me, made by me for my unique individual character. It's amazing. And honestly, like I have to thank that one woman that told me about her toolbox, because it was a while ago, and I had never thought to do something like this, and it makes absolute sense. Now, can your toolbox shift or change? Absolutely. It might shift, it might change, it might grow. It probably will grow over the years as you discover new things that help you on your life journey. Things that you find. Keep a mental note. If you feel better after doing them, maybe that's something you should put in your toolbox, something that you can come back to. So I ask you, what's in your toolbox? I would love to hear what you guys have in your own personal toolboxes, because I'm always curious to add to mine. And I really, really, really love this practice. It has for sure helped me, and to the point where I do carry my list with me, especially when I travel. Traveling can be extremely unsettling. When you get anywhere new that's uncomfortable, that's outside of your normal home, away from your normal home, you feel a little restless. Same thing when you get home from travel, you feel a little restless. So I keep my list with me, and I look it over and try to complete a couple things off that list, and just sit with myself and ask myself, why do you feel this way? And what do you need right now? It's so simple, but I tell you that it really, really helps. It really, really helps. This is the part where I tell you I'm not a doctor or a guru. I'm just a person that is experimenting on herself and sharing the things that have aided me in my journey, or things that I'm curious about, or things that I think should be shared with other people in the hopes that it helps them too. So if you're having any issues, please see a medical doctor or a licensed therapist. I am not liable for any of the things that happen, that you do in your own time. But I would love to hear from you. I truly appreciate you listening in. And what else do I have for you? I believe there's still 3 spots for my yoga sailing retreat in Greece in June. This June, I would love for you to come and join me. It is a great activity to do on a solo vacation, which if you've listened to my podcast before, I love to travel alone. This is a wonderful one to do that with, because you're meeting a group of like-minded individuals, including myself. And I also invite you to my Sunday evening stress relief class. Some self-massage, stretching, breathing, meditation. It's delicious. So I hope you join me, and I hope that your toolboxes fill you up and help you along the way. Thank you so much for listening. As always, you can find me at martaonthemove.com, Twitter at I Can't Find Marta. Keep it moving, everybody.